Oh, greetings, ladies and gents. It is I, the Wizard, and I have morphed into the brother cousin space pimp Lando. I hope all y'all are doing well out there. Hey, did you know? In Cloud City, the official holiday drink is eggnog and Coke 45, baby. Chewbacca, relax. I know you got sick last year. Who knew that Wookiees were lactose intolerant? I wanted to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope you all will be very great from me to you and to yours. Have a great holiday season, y'all, and I'll see you in 2023. Aries, take it away.
That would be a better. That would just having that character, Brother Cousins, needs to get hired by Disney for that Galactic Star Cruiser. That would help sell more $6,000 LARPing experiences than the actual does.
It must be Six Scale Raw because this is like where all the crazy is happening.
Yeah. That is a custom now waiting to be made.
Absolutely.
Man, we've got such a great panel in here today, guys, and a lot of people in the chat already. It is Six Scale Raw. We have a whole lot we're going to get into in this show as well, including that freaking Ahsoka, which Brother Cousins, I know you got it in your hand or you got it close by, baby, but I pre-ordered mine. I'm waiting for mine to come in here. You could show that, my friend. Come on. I mean, that thing looks damn good. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Brother Cousins, is that a grail? You're up close and personal. I mean,
it's a grail. It's a grail. Future grail. Future grail. But she looks good. She's amazing. I love the seamless body that they give her right there. It looks really good. Yeah. I'm happy.
So by 2026, she's outpacing Darkseid Anakin.
I don't know about that.
hey, if we're saying crowd, you're gonna go big or you're gonna go home, man. Or are we talking more like like vintage Boba Fett? Maybe that might fit more.
I'm not sure, but I would definitely say she has grail potential, but I would say that's about 5 years away.
Yeah. Plus, we got to see what happens with like the Ahsoka show and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: a lot of people. I mean, these joints right here it is single jointed, so I know that that kind of pisses a few people off, but you can still get her some good.
Is it single jointed? I didn't even realize that.
Yep, single jointed.
Well, but it looks so damn good. I mean, really. I mean, all right. So, Jay, do you need it to be more than single jointed? Honestly, for you.
For me, no. I can make it work. I can definitely make it work. But in 2023, I mean, single joint. I mean, they can do more. But you also got to look at it like this. Like you look at her back like that. Like look at that. That looks like a human. That doesn't look like a toy at all. So you gotta you gotta give a little to get a little. You gotta give a little to get a little.
Sometimes you got to keep your expectations just within a little bit. Just relax just a little bit on what your expectation, because not every figure is going to be quote the Grail figure. There are going to be figures that are good figures.
Right.
Like Bo-Katan. Like she definitely more posable than Bo-Katan. I can look at her already and say Bo-Katan is a figure that's a good figure. Probably not, it's not what I would consider a great figure. It looks great. It's one that looks great with however you have it. Right. But it does it does not pose good, if hardly at all. It is a museum pose figure. Like the Batman and Robin. That's another good one. They look great in museum poses. That doesn't, because they can't pose, doesn't make them garbage.
I would say these are good. I would say her and Bo-Katan are good figures. I'll agree. They're good figures. I would say Chrome Mando is a great figure.
Dude, because I got that one coming too.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Because he looks great, has a ton of accessories. He's a little bit more expensive than these two, though. That's another thing as well.
Listen, you guys have seen the banner. We're going to be talking about
so much stuff.
Grailability with some of these figures like that Ahsoka that are going on waitlist. We're going to talk about, like, is it really on waitlist? Is it coming back? It's gone. You know, we're going to talk about that Grailability or collectability, you know, with that particular figure. I will say this, though, guys. Frickin' Bo-Katan. She looks different. I love the Mando season 3. I'm just like, oh my God, it's so damn good. I cannot wait to see what happens on Wednesday. But dude, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna be talking about, are we gonna get another Bo-Katan, another Mando, another Boba Fett, another Luke? Is that why they're getting rid of Ahsoka and getting rid of Luke? We're gonna talk about that in this 6 scale Raw as well. It's something to discuss. It's gonna be interesting.
And hey, man, at the end of episode 2, Jon Favreau wants you completely shipping Bo-Katan by Din Djarin by the end of that episode.
All right,
they want everybody playing. He wants all those 6 scale figures of those two,
all right,
like hanging out on Boba's throne or something.
Well, let me just ask you guys this: what's bigger, an N1 or a Mythosaur?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
I want that Mythosaur base, baby. You know, so that we want a Mythosaur base, even though that thing's about like twice as big as a Rancor.
All right, how many guys think we would get? We would get a Mythosaur.
Hell no, no chance.
Not even a million.
No chance.
We got a Blurg.
We can't. Yeah,
but
Barry,
the
Blurg would be like barely a snack. For
barely a snack. Right over.
I mean, that's, you remember the crate dragon that, you know, ate the bantha like it was nothing. I mean, that thing's like the size of a crate dragon.
I can put it on my front lawn and have it like one of those ornaments.
If you want to go life size, Aries, go get that. Queen Studios is making a life size Hulkbuster for like 72 grand or something like that before shipping.
Grand.
So go get that. You can get that.
I go buy myself a Jaguar for that, baby.
Yeah, go pick that up. Go rent yourself a crane and put that together out on your front lawn. Put a big tent around it, and you'll be good to go. And you can say, I have finally go fully life size.
This Wednesday's episode is supposed to be 56 minutes long. Did you guys see that?
Oh, wow.
Really? So it's going to be like one of those
6 minutes long.
I love it.
And 15 minutes of it will be slow moving paintings during the end credits. Okay, I'm gonna be a jolly fella now.
These 6 minutes long. Are you kidding me?
That's what is out there. 56 minutes.
All right. Well.
We got so much to talk about. Hold your jolliness.
Let's go ahead and dive into all of this. Then we'll introduce the panel. We'll say hi to the chat. We'll if I can find the intro. There it is, baby.
And a one.
Everybody, let's go. Let's do it our own way.
Right now.
All right. But this is the last time.
And what you gonna do when the Dark Jedi goes 6 scale Raw on you? I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna say hi to the first guy that I see here, Brent, the Star Wars newsman. Brent, the first question I always gotta ask you.
Yes, sir.
Has Mark Hamill said anything about Hot Toys? Go.
He has not said anything about Hot Toys, but I had a Grand Rapids Griffins hockey Star Wars night 2 weeks ago with my 501st Legion friends, and I put it on Twitter and tagged him, and he liked it. So, so there you go. He's still out there.
Wow.
I'm thrilled to be back. It's been a few weeks since I've been in here with you guys. 3 weeks ago, I came down ill late in the day and on one of my work days and just couldn't join you. But last week, not able. This week, I'm here. And man, oh man, has there been developments
I'd say.
Last 2 weeks.
Yes. I'd say, brother. Well, welcome on in here, Brent, the Star Wars newsman. Always fun to have you in here.
Thank you.
And look, I mean, I feel like he's my second brother because I always enjoy you when I go on brother cousin show. But second brother, it is awesome and my honor to have you on here tonight, my friend. What's going on, baby?
Man, you know, same old. Thanks for inviting me on, and also had to give a message for the Macho Dad.
Oh,
Everyone wants to know how's Aries doing and how's everyone else doing out there. Well, I'm going to tell something real good. Real good. We're having a debate of the Mythosaur or the N1 Starfighter. Which one we going to do? Are we going to lift that Mythosaur over our heads like that nasty giant? Or are we just going to lay back and relax with that 6 feet worth of N1 Starfighter?
Well, let me tell you something, second brother. Is the N1 Starfighter coming or not, brother?
Hey, N1 all the way. Mythosaur, I don't know. I don't have that much room for a Mythosaur, but if it comes, there's a will, there's a way.
There's a will, there's a way. Let us go back around this way, and we have got Lane. What's going on, Lane, my friend? Welcome in here again, buddy.
Thank you. I am holding the new line tonight. There are many of you who are trying to break through the N1 Starfighter hold. But I will defiantly stand in that path to make sure, as Gandalf said, you shall not pass.
Ooh, wow. I got to get that clip.
But I will say to everybody in the chat, we do apologize starting a little bit late tonight. So for everybody right now here real quick, before we get to His Eminence Space Pimpin' Brother Cousins, let's do a little thank you for everybody waiting and gift away a 6 scale membership. Let's see who will be the lucky. And Paul Morales is the winter.
Paul Morales, baby.
Welcome to the 6 Scale Cantina. We are definitely ready to have you come over to Table 66 and join us for some good spotchka.
Oh, so I guess, listen, Elaine, and thank you so much. So I guess I got to play the clip for you. And this is for Lane, and this is also for Paul. Welcome, sitting at Table 66. Please stay safe. Hopefully you got at least Grogu with you or one of those guys. You know, that darn Revenge of the Sith, man. I can watch it over and over and over again.
So, you know, that's one thing, because I know we're still, I mean, you know, depending on what generation of Star Wars, of the movies you are, you know, that's what really got you in it, whether original trilogy, prequels, or sequels. You know, it's like the original trilogy people, we kind of are all getting something in the next few years for Hot Toys figure for, you know, I use the term retro line for, you know, the older property, or by the time we get to something might be an older figure property. Although the sequel trilogy may be Howie's Nightmare in 20 years or something like that, if he's got to make figures for that anniversary. But we got Return of the Jedi. That's like going to be the big thing for the original trilogy people. But if you're a prequel trilogy, so maybe a little bit slightly younger generation, like Brother Cousins or something.
Oh, hold on now. I am with the OT. Okay, I'm an OT guy. Don't get that confused. Never.
He just looks like a prequel trilogy guy who was sitting there, you know, in his Jar Jar Binks pajamas.
That's right. That's right. So you are an OT guy, right?
I am an OT guy. I am 42 years old. Please do not disrespect me.
I can actually verify that because at one time, Brother Cousins was in the emphasize like a little shoplifter when he was a baby. So his first claim to fame was the skiff guard disguise of Lando Calrissian of the original Kenner line.
Oh,
wow!
So that's to certify,
Okay, all right. Okay,
he goes back. I go back. So
so let me edit that. For all those whippersnapper prequel trilogy fans that are in the chat and stuff, their big thing, they've got Revenge of the Sith. So, that's going to be their hype line, along with they had Attack of the Clones this year.
But Lane, listen, I got to fill up table 10 because you have to wonder what kind of guy, am I an OT guy? Am I a prequel guy, a sequel guy? And I actually think I'm this guy right here. This is it for me, baby. This one.
I'm Boba Fett. I'm here to see the mayor.
Boba Fett. Do you have an appointment?
Book of Boba Fett guy. Listen, I would be so damn excited if we get season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. I just loved it. I loved it. I really did. But the first 3 episodes was the Mandalorian. That's what it was, baby.
It was.
It truly was.
Crazy. But we didn't get to the last guy here. And last but not least, the Space Pip, Hot Toys Wizard, replayed that awesome interruption from the holiday season. Jay, my brother, good to have you in here, my friend. How you doing this week?
Doing great. Always good to be here, Aries. Thank you so much for the invite. We got a wonderful panel tonight, and we're going to be talking some good stuff. So let's get into it. Let's do it, bro. Let's go.
Let's go ahead and do it. We're going to get into our first topic here today. Before we do that, let's quickly go through some of the people that are in here. And the big dog pound is in the house. We'll give you a woo. Come on. Good to have you in here, my friend. And we've got Mark Attack. Hello to you. Good to have you in here as well. And the collector #1 is also in the house. And the single songwriter is in here as well. Good to have you in here. Shiny up in here as well. Let's go. Maximum Rex also in the cantina, guys. And we've got FBJ in here. Come on. And Josh is in here. James, good to have you in here. Barry Sullivan in the house as well. What's up? And Punisher XS is in the house, and he says, if Hot Toys do make the N1 Starfighter, let's hope they do a better job than the DeLorean. Yeah, we were talking about that backstage. But Brother Cousins, your wheels work, don't they?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Holding up good. I've been bringing it into hover mode and bringing it into hover mode and bringing it out of hover mode, and no problem so far. Knock on wood. I'm just being careful with it. That's all you got to do. But I mean, hey, I know there's some people out there that's had some problems. So, God bless them.
Do you think it was just some batches there, Brother Cousins? I
think it has a lot to do with when this thing was constructed. I think a couple of things. I think it has a lot to do when and where it was constructed, what time of year it was constructed. That has a lot to do with the materials, plastics cracking and whatnot. Also, I think this thing was kind of rushed out the gate. I think as of last year, Yost with from Jazz Inc. was alluding to the fact that he was going to actually do one, and then they wanted to jump in front of it, and they was like, "Hey, we're going to put this out," and they got it out there. And I think this thing came out like 10 months, so that right there tells a lot. So I do think they kind of rushed the production on it, but that's how you have these inconsistent batches. You have a batch that has, I know a lot of people want to poo-poo on it right now. And I kind of look at that 2 ways. I kind of look at it like, well, you get the people that they just needed an excuse not to buy it. They wanted to buy it, but then it's like, oh, it's broken now. Good, I don't have to buy it. And then you have the people that, want it and it broke on them. So that happens. But the whole point of it is you want to get, if you're going to buy something like that, something that costs like $1,000 should not be breaking and or snapping. But the thing is this: if you are going to spend that money, make sure you buy it from a reputable company like Sideshow.
Well, you have to, baby. I mean, it's like $850, right?
Yeah. So if you have any problems, you could take it back. Like Sideshow does like 30 days. So anybody that had problems with theirs, you know, the sad part is you have to probably wait later. You do have to wait for a later batch at this point.
You know,
but I don't think it's, you know, it
what's
depends
the
on how bad
shipping
you
on
want
that sucker? What's the shipping on that sucker, Jay?
Ooh, the shipping was like, I think it was like $50 for me.
That's not bad. That's not bad, right?
Yeah.
For how some wonky some of the shipping prices have been on some of their statues and other stuff, where like they're charging $300 or more. You know,
is that piece waitlisted yet?
Nope.
Is the DeLorean waitlisted yet or no?
No.
Really?
It went, or if they were having at one point, I think it was supposed to be showing low stock, and then
it was like a weekend.
But
exactly.
Yeah, this is why that's why it's not the waitlist games; it's the waitlist confusion mode with Sideshow, because half the time you can't figure out, is it actually or is it a bug? Because their new site their site in general has had bugs like that for years, but ever since they did the transition, it seems like it's been extra.
I tell you what, though, a lot of it's been pretty, except with those crazy pieces. A lot of it's been, I don't know, pretty calculated. I think, guys, it's been pretty obvious where it's going.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sideshow in general has had that, like, you know, they had that Poison Ivy statue where they didn't actually put on the website that it was only a production of 250 units.
That's weird. I know.
And then it just was some other thing people saw it. There was no email, other stuff, and it went waitlisted. I just had, like, yesterday, they had a Joker, like their current Joker available, and it's been available for a bit, and it just like randomly went waitlisted yesterday. I emailed out, like, you know, on Facebook, I posted up because no one had, I guess, noticed it yet. But even their stuff is, you know, their statue, which we always, even more so than Hot Toys, you're listening to, oh, wait, that's just a batch, man. They're like, you know, Sideshow stuff's never gone. You know, it never really gone.
You know,
it's always back there.
And they were doing so many events to it. I feel like I haven't really, I think it's their.
They got one this week.
They got one this week finally, but I feel like it's been forever.
Well, I think they've been probably reshuffling their social media stuff probably over the last couple of months since they lost, you know, Paul and I can't believe Autumn, you know, who I think were two of the key like focus points. So I think they've been really having to kind of get stuff reorganized and stuff figured out again. It's like they haven't done the unboxings. Remember, that was always like a Tuesday.
We're kind of doing that for a while.
Lane, is that why they stopped doing that? Because
I'm just speaking completely conjecture here, but one of the reasons, you know, they had the one thing where they just did like sales stuff, but you know, I think that maybe Sideshow also didn't want to have to pay, you know, for some of the production, the internet, and maybe also like, you know, Guy or whatever, maybe trying to not pay so much for them to do the, which my problem is, I think that's been one of the, whether you know, love necessarily how well, like say Guy actually poses stuff or whatever, you know, I always thought for the Hot Toys, especially, or any of the 6 scale figures they would put on there, that was always a good selling point. Like, you know, if one of us or something was like, well, hey, this is going to be the first time where, you know, maybe not as much in the past, but it'd take 2 or 3 months before they would get the figure in. Guy would have it, you know, within a week or two, they would unbox it. You know, it's been released so that you could look at it and physically someone mess with it or do something with it, not in the short videos. I feel like we're missing that a little bit, you know, that it could, for that uncertain, you know, the uncertain figure, or I know maybe with all the waitlist stuff, what we're talking about, maybe not as much anymore. Maybe that's why they're not doing as much, because they're going to have stuff sold out, you know, much earlier before it actually releases, except maybe, you know, a few pieces here and there from cancellations or waitlist, you know, so they're not going to spend money for it as much.
Well, Aries, you and I were having a conversation via Facebook Messenger. I think it was yesterday or maybe it was Saturday about, is waitlist truly a waitlist, or is it Sideshow's tactic to try to generate demand on certain?
It's working.
Because for the life of me, and maybe Aries, you can share your thoughts on this, because I think it made great sense when you and I were chatting. I mean, Arena Suit Boba Fett has been waitlist open for 7 months. How is that possible? You know, you know.
Yeah, it's a good point, Brent. That is something. First, let me read this from Beskar Kid. No, the sad part is the DeLorean having so many issues, and collectors saying, "Oh, I'm still getting it." It's a hot piece, dude. And it came out before, and now you got. I think the only difference now is the wheels, right, Jay? I know you got it.
I will say I have both of them. I have the original right there, and I have the new one that's out there. I'll say this: outside of the QC issues, and those QC issues are real. They should be a real concern if anybody's dropping that much money on it. It definitely should be a real concern, and I think people should really, like I said, if you're going to if you want it that bad, definitely try to get it from a reputable place. With that being said, this new one outside the QC issues is way better than the original. The lights, the lights that it comes with, it's more lights in a dash. The other one didn't. The original did not have that one. The time circuits, this one does. The lights on it is phenomenal. Once you have it and it's set up, it looks great. It really is a good piece. I mean, I can understand why there's people out there that still want it. And then you got to think about it. Before that came out, you know, it was just, oh my God, just maybe a year and a half ago, everybody that was new coming in to Hot Toys was saying, oh, I just wish I could get a 89 Batmobile. We have that. Oh my God, I wish we can just get a DeLorean. Now we have that available. Or I wish we can get Ecto 1. That one's around the corner. So all the vehicles are back. So you are seeing a lot of people that still want it despite the QC issues, because they know they're going to get it from a place like Sideshow. And if they get it from a place like Sideshow and that, you know, they have a problem with their tires or something snaps or breaks like that, they can get their money back. Or, you know, Sideshow will send them other parts or whatever. People want this vehicle because, before, even right now to this day, that one that's right there is still going for like $1,500 to $2,000 still. So people want these vehicles.
Jay, when did they announce that one? I'm trying to remember. Gosh, it's been
a year February of last year.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow. Very interesting.
Jay, do you think they come out with a Back to the Future 3 DeLorean? They kind of already teased that, haven't they, a little bit in some of the photos with the Back to the Future 3 Doc and Marty? I mean, they're sitting on a DeLorean with the red and white wall tires, and it's coming, right?
Here's the thing. Hot Toys is funny because they do weird stuff. Like, we have Back to the Future. We have the Back to the Future 2 DeLorean. They put out the Back to the Future figures back in 2015. So now, if you weren't collecting back then, you have to go, buy backwards and pay like upward to.
And they put out the Back to the Future 1 and 3 figures, and you're like,
exactly. So, to answer your question, do I think it's coming? I do think we're going to get the Back to the Future 3 DeLorean. I do think we're going to get it. Here's the thing. Maybe 5 years from now.
And that Back to the Future 2, Marty and Doc, those are going for obscene prices on the secondary market.
Yeah.
They're up there with Darkseid Anakin. No joke.
Yeah, because now there's something to put it with that's big.
Yeah.
Well,
help sell them, Matt.
Keep going on in the chat. Put your questions in there. I want to get to the this kind of all goes into the first topic. Jay, I'm going to start with you because you showed her, in the when we started here, I put you on the full screen and you got it. But this is crazy because I pre-ordered this, and this is going to be coming from Sideshow. I pre-ordered this one from Sideshow, looking to get it in. The first one that went out, Jay, was the non-deluxe version, the regular. And then, a day later, I think it was a day later. It was little less than a day later, Jay. The deluxe one here went out, and it's been gone since. And then, I mean, you've got it in hand. What do you think? This one blew me away because what's been happening, and I was kind of bringing this up to Lane before, it's been pretty concentrated where it's like, okay, everything from around, that April, May time frame of last year forward, they're kind of going in about 6-7 months, right, Jay? They're kind of like, okay, low stock and going. This one's like a weird. It's weird. This came out in freaking 2021, baby.
Yep.
April
Yeah.
2021 it was announced.
Yeah, and you know what? I really think, at one point, and I'm not sure if she still is, but at one point, Ahsoka was like the third most popular Star Wars character. I know that's kind of changed now with Mandalorian and Grogu, but she is very popular. She has a big and I do think that has something to do with this. Now I know we've talked about because we talked about this a little bit on Best of the Best, and not knowing I was kind of thinking that okay, maybe Sideshow was looking at it like this. Okay, we got all these orders when we came in. They learned from buying all these orders and buying all these figures and just sitting on them and taking a hit on it as it sits in a warehouse. Maybe they scale back on their original orders. Now I know Ray kind of talked to me. He kind of mentioned that in the comments last week and was saying that they have to do their orders from jump. So I don't know if that's a real thing, but if they could, maybe that could have been a thing. Maybe they looked at it and was like, okay, we still have a bunch of the Clone Wars Ahsoka's just sitting around. Maybe we could scale back on this because we don't want to sit on that stock. And they reduce those stock numbers, and this is why you're seeing it go. Or this could be something that they're creating to just try to get people to buy it, which I kind of think I don't think so, because if they keep doing that, that does damage their credibility, Sideshow's credibility to do that. So I tend to not think that. I hope not. But this is weird because this is a 2021 release, and from what we've been trained to see, the pattern for the last year, anything that's 2021, we had thought it was going to be around. And now we're starting to see this get, snapped away, so to speak. So it's, it really causes a big FOMO. It really causes FOMO, which I know that's where it has a lot of people thinking that, oh, they're just doing this to create FOMO to get us to buy and purchase. And then they'll, miraculously, some will come back right into stock once it's gone. But I mean, my guess is good as yours, and everybody's on the panels. I'm not sure, actually, what they're doing. I do think, like I said, I don't think they're doing this just to create FOMO. If they are, they can only do this but so long before people catch on to it, and it damages their credibility, which I don't think they want to do at this point. So
yeah, no, that's good thoughts, Jay. And we got 100 in here already, so make sure everybody pauses and smashes that like button right now. The Dark Jedi and all the panel members do appreciate it, my friends. It's real interesting. I don't think that they're doing that either. I mean, look, a lot of us in here understand you can only cry wolf so many times, right? So if that's what happens, I'll never give a crap, second brother, going to you. If they ever put these up again, if it's never going to be real, shoot, I'll just won't even pay attention to it. So I kind of agree with Jay that there's more to it than them doing that. I don't expect them to be doing that, but is this really? I mean, this figure came out. It's going to be. It's already March 2nd, brother. Here's the interesting thing about this one. So almost 2 years, this figure's been up on pre-order, second brother. And when you sorted this out, just like a month ago, even with the hype of the Mando coming, it was like by the jet troopers on Waitlist. It was all the way at the bottom. It was like nobody was even caring. Mm-hmm. I felt like, as I put in my video, that maybe a lot of the juice, whoever was going to get this, in our band here, and even in our band that don't watch this stuff but collects Hot Toys, we're maybe going to get it. I don't know. What is your take on this? Is this for real? And are you happy about it from a collectability standpoint right off the bat?
Well, it was a day one pre-order for me when it was announced. So to see it go on Waitlist, to me is kind of not shocking with the trend of how everything. It seems like everyone's trying to streamline everything now. Mm-hmm. So we won't run into this situation where we see Sideshow doing buy one get one 50% off and all that other craziness. So I think it's a new business strategy for Sideshow as a whole, for them not to hold on to a lot of stock. But as I was coming on with you earlier, I saw what you had listed for a possible waitlist. So I went on ahead as a test that went on ahead and let me jump on Valkyrie and jump on a waitlist and see what happened. Because I already had 2 situations where things were on waitlist. I jump on a waitlist, and all of a sudden, whoa, you can get it. Just recently, it was, I can't remember which, it was one of the Walking Dead figures. It was the Governor, actually. And I forgot to pre-order it. And I saw it was waitlisted. I'm like, damn. Okay, let me hit the waitlist. Within 20, maybe 27 minutes, I get an alert to say, hey, go ahead and, put your deposit and all that.
Wow.
So it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough, especially with like pieces like this, especially when you have the history of the heavy infantry Mandalorian, how that just went like boom, just like that. So it's kind of hard to predict. But for anything that just gets so hot and it goes on waitlist and it stays there, collectability, is through the roof at that point. But who knows? One day it could be you don't see it no more, and then next you know you could have the Chintari situation where all of a sudden those things have been gone for 2 years or whatever, then all of a sudden you see them back in Sideshow stock again. So who knows?
And I think that that's possible with many of these, that could happen just from showing up or just because how weird this time is globally. And I know that Hot Toys history in the past, they haven't really reissued stuff or put out other batches, but they've done it rare, in some rare occasions, like with Star Wars, the Han Solo, Chewbacca 2-pack from A New Hope, or the Yoda Attack of the Clones. But possible because of this situation that could happen. But before we go to Lane over here, Hoff's Hometown Hero with the $5 drop says, this is really gone. They are using the waitlist as a dynamic to not go over their new lower allotment. Brett, I'm gonna bring that up. I didn't forget about the Arena Fett, but as part of the segment on the show a little later, and we'll talk about this. But other retailers out of this as well. Well, thank you so much there, AJ, Hoth's Hometown Heroes. Shout out to Hoth's Hometown Heroes. Got a great up-and-coming channel, puts out a lot of content up there. You guys should go definitely check it out and go subscribe to him. I do enjoy watching his show. So thank you so much, AJ, for that. And Lane, it's interesting because, you were bringing up in the private chat too about the Luke Skywalker. So I kind of put out, a video about this, and I talked about it in my shows, and I kind of went into more depth on Insiders, which about, that I really thought that this was going to be happening with the Lukes because of this happening with Ahsoka. And I have some thoughts as to why. But I know that you're putting the links here in the private chat to bring this up.
What's one of the weird things is the special editions though are still regular pre-order.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that? Well, I mean,
because weren't they gone?
One per person though.
Yeah, didn't those originally go waitlist? Were they timed originally? Maybe not. Maybe I'm with all the summer event stuff and everything. It's hard to remember what was and what wasn't. Because I thought they had been gone for a while, but I might be mistaken. Maybe they're back to help get them sold. But, the timing for this,
to help get them sold. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well,
you may be onto something there.
Well, the thing is, maybe they had some cancellations, other stuff. So that now it's kind of what we were talking about, before coming on, that might be playing a little bit into. It makes you kind of go, if that's true, makes you go, a little bit more. Seeing this now, because that's kind of what happened with Ahsoka. I mean, released in Hong Kong. Obviously, not a lot of people have gotten her here yet, but I mean, there's a lot of figures in the last 2 months we're still waiting for to be released in Hong Kong. But no, I mean, this is an anticipated figure. Now, is it almost 2 years that he was announced?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he came, wasn't it June, guys?
So it's
2020.
Yeah, it was June.
Yep.
June of 21.
Yeah,
21.
So, I mean, I think they kind of need to get this Luke out because obviously you've got Return of the Jedi, and this guy is obviously different looking in some ways than Return of the Jedi, but he's close enough looking, to it with the outfit in certain respects.
And I'm going to pause you for a minute, Lane. He's also way different looking than the new Luke.
Yeah, than
the new Luke with Grogu that's going to show up in this season that was in Book of Boba Fett. Doesn't look like this anymore.
One of the reasons was he delayed, not super delayed, but a little bit delayed at least. Maybe they were touching up the facial sculpt to resemble a little bit more.
Please, God, don't. I'll tell you why with this don't. And maybe some would want it, but that you bring up a good point. And Jay, I can get away. Could you imagine, Jay, if they did that and they messed with this sculpt, like Lane was saying, because he's not the first one. And then we lose the moment from the Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, we got to get this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we definitely got to get this, to match that moment. We definitely need this look. I don't want them to...
I'm sorry. I will point and laugh at you both. If you're guys saying, man, I hope they didn't improve the sculpt a little bit to make it look better for my figure for $300. I like that moment too. But I would like that to look. I mean, it's going to still be CGI loose, so it's not exactly Mark Hamill. But I will take a better looking face for the $300 figure that I buy every time, even if it's not 100% faithful. Because if it's better looking, at the end of the day, I'm always happy with that. But I see we've had the Spade Pit Man, but the Smooth Operator has arrived. So I want to let him be able to give his comments here too.
Smooth Operator, Lael, the 1/6 is in the house. Brother, how are you doing today, baby?
You got me confused with Jay.
See, Jay is a
space. You got the smooth operator over here. That's Jay.
You got the smooth beard. You got the smoothest beard operator.
I mean, I don't know, man. Jay been smooth since. You know what I mean? Baby formula and car seats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's his mutation. He just come out naturally smooth. So you know what I mean?
Man, are you trying to make us like have flashbacks? I forget what was that movie where it was, I think, a Wayans Brothers movie where it was like one of their faces superimposed CGI, like a baby body.
Little Man.
Okay, so now I got brother cousins like in their back with like shades, as a baby, with his face on a baby body. Thanks a lot, Lael.
I'm saying he was conceived through Keith Sweat music. So what you expect?
What you expect? And
oh my God,
he is certified on grabbing on bra straps when he was an infant. Oh,
see. Mm-hmm. Grabbing booties and bra straps. That's his thing. Anyway, how you doing, man?
Aries is just gonna be. I'm not saying nothing, man. I'm just staying out.
How y'all doing, man?
Doing really, really good. Good to have you in here, brother. Business has picked up. We were just having a good old time. We were talking about Ahsoka and talking about this because right after, we figured out here, Lael, that Ahsoka came out like April 2023. Mm-hmm. And then this was June. 2021. This is June 2021. I mean, it's almost 2 years for Ahsoka. I guess this one close. Are you surprised that this happened with Luke?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, they don't really. The thing is, it's like now with them, it's cry wolf. It's been the same thing now for like a couple months. Things hit low stock. Then once release date. For some reason, it just magically opens up again. They did the same thing with Wonder Woman. They did the same thing with Cable. I mean, there's so many figures that they've done the same thing on. Like it hits low stock, but then once once it goes in production and once it's available, for some reason, magically now, it could be just for the simple fact that a lot of people are canceling orders because they didn't want to wait for a certain amount of time. So things are happening with this. I mean, it's following suit. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? People aren't really, once it's available, then it's going to be cool. You know what I mean? It's definitely, me myself was surprisingly enough, and I know people are going to be upset about it. We're not really upset. They probably wouldn't care. I didn't get the deluxe version. I only ordered the exclusive because I can care less about the base. Because the thing is, the base is just going to be, it's taking up room based on what I want to do. All I need is the figure. You know what I mean? I didn't want, the droid, the dark, trooper or anything like that. I just wanted the figure and that's it. That's all I needed it for. But the thing is, I don't gauge waitlist anymore. I really, really don't. I don't. Like, I really don't. Because the thing is, like, for instance, and I wanted it and I tested it out. Like, I had the clone pilots. It went waitlist. So I actually, got myself on a wait list. And maybe within 24 hours of me doing that, all of a sudden the waitlist was open again. You know what I mean? So, or it was open and they said, oh, you're available, you can whatever. So that means either they were just holding on just to see who, just to gauge the interest at that point. Yeah. So again, like when we're looking at this, I stopped, I even stopped looking at the wait list or getting notifications for wait lists or even talking about wait lists, because to me, it's just, it's going to be available. Like, they're going to be available. I guarantee you it will be. Even if it hits wait list, even if it, low stock right now, say if it does hit wait list, it will be available. I think it will.
Someone brought up, Lael, that they're using the wait list as a gauge to figure out how many pre-orders they need to get. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely agree. I agree that they're basically doing it just to see. And again, it's off of interest, man, because they want to know who's interested in these pieces. And rightfully so. I'm not mad at them because they're doing that, because again, like, we see now that a lot of people haven't really been, there hasn't been a lot of high. I mean, they don't want to sit on anything. I mean, they're already sitting on dead stock right now. Stuff that they still can't get rid of since 2020 or 2019. You know what I mean? Like, they are still sitting on pieces even before then that they can't get rid of. So, it's definitely becoming an issue. So I don't know. I mean, to be quite honest, I'm just like, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll just wait it out. And there's other places that you can get these pieces from. There's other locations, other resellers that you can get it from. I'm good. I'm definitely good, man. Like, to them, I think it's just one of those situations where sometimes they overestimate at some point. You know what I mean? And what they did in the past, which they did, but they don't want to run into that same issue again. Like, they don't, and blame them. If I was a business, I don't want to sit on these things. I don't want to sit on figures that I know I can't get rid of. And I know they're going to be pissed for those, and for that particular reason. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much different, like, for instance, I mean, you can give so many different examples. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, Jay, Mark V. Then they basically released the Mark V with base after they're still sitting on the Mark V, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So what sense does that make at that point? You know what I mean? Like, there's an issue. So we just got to wait and see. I mean, it's definitely a wait and see type of situation. I know we're talking about the economy, we're talking about all that, but if we're talking about the economy, things were sort of like even worse at the beginning of COVID, and they still, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just a waiting game. It's just a wait. But I guess myself, I just don't trust these low stock to wait list notifications. I don't.
Really, really good stuff and good points there, Lael. And when you talk about that, you don't have to buy it just from Sideshow. Here's for instance, right here, we've got so many.
Exactly.
There's Hawkwar's Toys, Ray. Shout out to him. Exactly. I think many of us have bought from Ray, a really good seller here. Good to have Ray
I mean, you get notifications from him all the time. He'll let you know that he has stuff in stock. He'll send you out notifications, tag you and things. You know what I mean? So him, it's look, my go-to is Hawk Wars, or I go to Underground Figures, of course. You know what I mean? My both names Ray, so they do you good. I guess Ray is a good name. You know what I mean?
Double Ray squared.
Yeah, like Rays, they do you good, like straight up. They're definitely like they hook you up. Ray, Hawkworth Toys, he'll always send you out like a notification to let you know that he has figures coming in, especially like if he's getting other figures in, if he's getting, he'll let you know. He's always keeping you up to date. So is Ray from Underground. Like they always keep, and so that's what I'm saying. You have these other locations where you can buy these pieces and not really have, too much of a problem. I think this is, again, it's just something with Sideshow right now. So,
very, very interesting stuff. And let's go to you, Brent, because Lael brings up some good points. You can't get it from, some other sellers, such as, Hawk Wars, or from this one or from that one. Is the waitlist being used? Because Second Brother brought this up earlier. He's able to put something in waitlist and then it converts. So is it possible that they're using that to kind of try to, I almost want to say to the T, but kind of make sure that they don't have any overstock? But if you want the figure right now, just join the wait list. It's probably, or there's a good chance, or there is a chance that it will convert if you want to get it now. What is your thoughts on that, my friend?
Well, I think it's their website, so I guess they can do whatever they want, right? At the end of the day, and if they have those tools in their arsenal, why not use them to benefit? I mean, I think they are. I think a lot of these pieces, it would not surprise me one bit if there's a lot of the Ahsoka and Grogu pieces in their inventory and they went waitlist on it. They decided to throw that up there to try to generate more purchases, to try to meet the quota of how many, or get close to the quota of how many they needed to sell of that piece. And I brought up Arena of Boba Fett. I mean, that piece, I mean, you guys probably know a little bit more than me. I wasn't paying attention to it very closely back then, but if I remember correctly, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, but wasn't that piece like sold out in 2 days? And then it disappeared from the site, and then it came back waitlist open, and it's now been waitlist open since like August. So, I mean, how is that possible? It's hard for me to wrap my head around that specific one, because that one became a grail, it seemed like, overnight, and it's not been available. The only way you can get
a grail now, almost.
Absolutely. But I think that it's very possible that they're throwing waitlist up there on a lot of these pieces, just to get people to say, well, I better get on that waitlist. And when you get on that waitlist, they don't give you a warning when they convert you. You're charged, right? I mean, your credit card is charged, the piece is shipping, and you basically have like you've sort of signed an indirect contract, basically saying you're going to buy this, and that's how it is.
I think you get a couple of days to choose if you want. Like I'm on the wait list for it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
For a lot of these, they'll convert. I've been on the wait list for the Arena Suit Boba Fett for months. It hasn't converted. For months. No, seriously. Like if you go on my account on there, you will see, and it's not converting. But
so if that piece is sold out, then why even have a wait list open on it? I mean,
and that's a good question, because I remember with I was talking about this weekend. Remember the OTR2D2? And I went on the wait list for that one, and I was on for like over a year. I don't know if anybody else was. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to convert. I'm going to get one. It never happened, but they had that open for a longest time though, bro. Mm-hmm. So I think that has happened before. You got the wait list open right now on the, what is it? The Jet Trooper, the white one, I think, not the red one.
Yeah, I'm zipping down there to the bottom, and I know those have been sitting on waitlist forever. I mean, KX Enforcer Droid has been waitlist open for a very long time.
He's had some waitlist converted though in the last several.
Has he had some waitlist converted?
Yeah.
Commander Apple with Bark Speeder is waitlist full. Kylo Ren is waitlist open. Coruscant Guard is waitlist open. The Red Jet Trooper is waitlist open.
Yeah, check this out. A single Star Rider goes up still on the wait list for the Emperor and the throne.
Yeah. Well,
Could
hey,
you even imagine?
I was on the wait list for the Revenge of the Sith Opie one for like 2 years before they finally put it to sold out. But when the wait list converts, you basically get an email saying, hey, this is now available, but you have to still choose the click. You have a certain amount of time, and someone could still get it underneath you. This is how they encourage you to pre-order it or pre-order it or immediately, hit the button and order it if it's an older one. You have a couple days to decide if you want to get it before they get it run out of it. So it's just letting you know it is available, and you can, click on the link to basically where it's pre-orderable, where for everybody else they can't see it, or it's not orderable. It'll show still waitlist full or whatever. So
interesting.
I know some people have had the Clone Trooper, the one that just got released recently, have had some. Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, and look at this. I'm going to go to you here a second, brother. It says Hawk Wars Collectibles says, rumor has it that Ahsoka will show up at the next few shows of Mando to promote her show, which could mean a new Tano soon. And there's also rumors that Luke is going to show up. Big rumors that he's going to be a big part of this, this other thing that's going to be they're going to be getting into over the next couple of shows. Threat to the Galaxy. There's also rumors that Boba Fett, although I think we all knew that Boba Fett was probably going to show up. Big rumors that Timothy Oliphant is going to show up. All these are characters that figures that are coming out. For here, second brother. But it's real interesting. Do you? I mean, going back to you with this waitlist stuff. Do you feel like people that go ahead and join the wait list, that these could just really just convert, whether it's the Ahsoka or this one right now, and really not have a problem?
Like I said, it's like it's almost like whack-a-mole in a way. Like you guys were talking about they're going to extended wait list. I can't remember which Iron Man was it with the donut, him eating the donut. I was on a wait list for that thing probably about maybe 3 years for that. And I just clicking around like, let me see what's on wait list. And the damn thing was still sitting there. And then, like you said, when you guys said it just went sold out. But it's hard to predict with these new figures. Now, what you talking about with Ahsoka maybe doing a cameo within the Mandalorian, they got a lot of properties that are coming out that they're gonna have to try to plug. So I was just reading something just a second ago about them possibly doing a big thing for Sabine Wren when Ahsoka comes out. It's a big thing for that. So I think it's timing, and also I think is Hot Toys kind of playing around with what they want to do, and so what they're going to do, based on how these shows pan out. It's all on timing, but with this waitlist thing, it's kind of it's either here or there, and it seems like more of a possibility. Okay, like you just sent that there with Electro. I did a pre-order on that. Did a wait list on that, and that got converted. So it's funny like that. I think now, if something going wait list, there's more of a chance of you getting it than it was in the past. I don't think it's going to pretty much be one of those things like once it's gone, it's gone. I really think that Sideshow is probably sitting on some stock. It'd be wise to do that. And we're talking about waitlisted stuff, man. I was waitlisted for Venom, and I ended up getting it. So it's hard to tell Aries these days. It's hard to predict. It really is. Yeah, but it is like a playing chicken move, though.
Yeah,
it's like playing chicken. Like, hey, this is waitlisted when it's so crazy right now that you want to sit back and wait. But if you want to sit back and wait, or are you going to take that risk and never get it? And then Lael made a valid point that Sideshow's not the only seller out there, but
right.
You know, I'm like, okay, I get what I like, but to answer your question, it's too soon to tell. And I think what we probably should start doing is when these things go on waitlist, just mark it down. Okay, this is on waitlist, and then when they come back, we'll mark it, and then that's a way we be able to track if these guys are playing, playing footy dud with us or not.
Well, and if they are, eventually no one will even, like the Lael's point, even pay attention to it. And good right. Thoughts there. Jay, let's go to you. So why not? I mean, why isn't this waitlist open? What's going on here? Boba Fett's the same thing for Book of Boba Fett. Some of these figures, we got to wait for some of these to cancel. Are they sitting on some? It's going to come. Like looking at Electro specifically, because it's not just Star Wars; it's everything. It's kind of like and they can do what they want, like Brett said on it's their website. But I mean, if it's available right now, why wouldn't they just let people pre-order this instead of letting it sit here full? What's going on here, dude?
Me?
Jay, you're on mute,
sir.
Hey, oh,
hey,
I didn't know how I was on. I didn't even know how I was on mute. Oh my god!
Go ahead, man. Give me a second.
Real quick. Sorry, I mean to cut anybody off because I got to head out here real quick because we got to get ready for comic book talk with friends. But thanks for having me, man. I forgot all about it. I was up here, and I'm just getting that reminder, so I forgot all about it. So yeah, let me actually jump in with them. But man, thanks for having me on here. I was trying to. I was messing around in the background while people were talking. I was trying to make that picture, second brother. I was trying to make that picture that I put up of Jay with the Jackson 5, my emoji, but it wouldn't work. So I'll have to do that later on, man. But anyway,
Petty lost in it.
Hey, look, I saved that. When you did it, I screenshotted and saved that, man.
So, Lael, before you take off, your comic show, do you talk about comics that have come out each week?
We talk about we do new releases and previous. We do weekly releases, stuff like that. Tonight we're going to actually go into just a lot of repetition, especially what's going on with Daredevil right now. Not only just cinematically, from Disney Plus, but also we're going to talk about just certain runs. There's a writer who's stepping away from it as well. His last run, exactly.
I read the first 36 issues.
Exactly. So we already know that he's stepping away. But I mean, and it's not really bad, but it is because it's like his runs have been decent. So we'll see how it is. But anyway, thank you for having me, man, as always.
So ASM 21, the start of the end of the mystery box. Up, down, thumbs up, thumbs down on that issue.
I'm a little in between because I like it, but I'm a little in between. I'll talk to you about it later on.
And if you want to hear more after here, head over to the Lael stream on his so that you can hear some more comic talk.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Peace out. And you guys could always subscribe to the 1/6ScaleMan because I've always got the link to his channel within the video description, baby. Always good having Lael jumping on in here. Good guy, good channel, great channel. So Jay, what's going on here? I'm hearing the different thoughts, and this is full. So if it's going to be available and it's going to be no problem to get this, and they're just going to keep producing these like the figures that are discounted over 50% on the secondary market, why not just open this up?
Well, I think once again they got their numbers off the top for this particular figure right here, and I think they were also looking at the one that came out for the Electro that came out for the Amazing Spider-Man. That one sat around for years, so I really think what it just comes down to is they had a certain allotment, and when that allotment was sold out, this was triggered to be on waitlist. And I think that's just what it is. I don't know if they feel confident that this would be a big mover like other figures would be. I hate saying that because this figure looks
It's amazing. Jamie Foxx is
flipping amazing, and it's Jamie Foxx. Come on, and it's amazing. This was a much better Electro than we got in Amazing Spider-Man. So I agree. I'm like, y'all could just open it up, but I just think I think with this one, it could be maybe like a wait and see type of thing. Like, okay, they could. I really don't think it'd be hard for them to get another allotment from Hot Toys if this was selling. Like, if this was selling, like, I was like, well, we'll just get some more. But right now, I think they're just gonna play a wait and see because they've been burnt with Marvel stuff before. And if you look at this line right here, this is where this Spider-Man movie, No Way Home. This is the new end. This is like the end game all over again. For the Avengers Endgame line all over again. That's what this is. So they're going to have a lot of figures come from this. And I think a lot of them are going to be around for a bit. But once again, they learned from that years ago with that Infinity War line. They learned that with the Endgame line. Like, a lot of those figures are just sitting. So they don't want that stuff sitting. So once they get those numbers in, they sell out their allotment, and then it's on wait list. And I think that's just what it is. And I just think this one, they just happen to get a smaller batch because they didn't think, well, it's a villain. And you know, and I don't think it's a thing about just, oh, it's Electro or it's Jamie Foxx and nobody, you know, likes it. I think they're like that with a lot of villains, because if you look at even Thanos, look how many Thani we had sitting. I mean, it was like 4 different, what was it, 3 different Thanos that were just that are still
or from Phase 4, like the Taskmaster, which they can't get rid of, and that's a $250 figure.
There you go.
As we've seen, people have done plenty of reviews saying, hey, this figure is amazing. Whatever the translation, like, this is a figure, a great Hot Toys figure, a top 10, maybe top 10, top 12 figure that came out of all the, like, you know, 60 or whatever they put out. Like, this is when you can put in the top 10. You should, if you want to if you're a Marvel collector, it's a villain that you should get, because it's not just a villain, it's a very good figure you can put with a lot of stuff, and they still can't get rid of it.
That's true. Yep.
Interesting. Brett, that's good thoughts there, Jay. Really good thoughts. Brett, let me ask you a question here, since we kind of all opened up and gave some different thoughts, and Lael was on here and gave his thoughts. So, you know, a mechanism that they used to do is they you know, come out with the first batch, release it in Hong Kong, right? Then they make a second batch, and then they can make a third batch. So is it possible that these are exactly what they're doing here, but they plan on when the economy heals in a year? I think in 2 years, and I know we're talking about that the economy was bad during COVID, but eggs were at $4, and some of the stuff was. I'm just being honest, though. It right. was nowhere near where it, at least for me, the way it is right now. Yeah. That being said, who's to say that they couldn't, with all these figures, the DX20 Ahsoka, the Boba Fett, the Electro here, the Peacemaker, in 24 months, that they're like, hey, we're just going to put these all out again because people have got more money, and now new collectors can come in. I mean, why couldn't they do that?
Well, I think they very well could do that. And obviously, we're never going to know that for sure. But I think that's a great point, Aries. And I think that there's certainly you could draw a straight line from A to Z on that for sure. And I keep getting stuck on this Arena Fett because how is something waitlist open like that for 7 months? And I'll just throw this out there as food for thought. I mean, could they be sitting on another batch of that figure? Okay. And they have waitlist open. They've had it open for 6-7 months. And could it be because Boba Fett is going to show up wearing that uniform in either Mandalorian season 3 or in Ahsoka, and then they can re-release it that way? I mean, could we see him in live action in that uniform, and then they can release the horses from the gate with another batch of those figures? Is that a possibility? What do you guys think?
Yeah, could definitely be a big possibility.
Yeah. And I think the moral of the story here, Brett, is nobody really knows. But that's a darn good question. They could be gauging. I'm going to go back to you, second brother. they could be gauging these wait lists right now. And who's to say that they couldn't come out? It doesn't appear like they're going to be making, second batches and third batches like they used to do in the past, right, Second Brother? But why couldn't they do it in 6 months or in 12 months or in 18 months?
I mean, since we bringing this up here, and I'm just gonna make a point, and I'm just gonna make a statement. 2.0, they can do it. They've been doing it the entire time. 2.0, 2.0. So they got the molds. If they want to go back to the well and start producing more from them, they could. So I don't know. It's probably, like I said, it's like one of these wait and see type of things.
And these wait lists are a great litmus test to really gauge demand. I would think.
I would think they are. Yeah, I would think they are.
Sideshow is scrutinizing everything they have waitlist open right now like a hawk.
Yes.
Hoss Hometown Hero putting in a little bit of
the match. There it is.
6 months pre-order window, an average of 14 figures sold per day, 180 days, 27 figures per day equals 5,000. Is it possible?
Yeah.
You have to wonder. Interesting here. So Lane, let me go ahead and go to you as we're looking through a ton of these here.
There's a lot of wait lists now.
And let me ask you a question. How much does things like this, out of putting this up on the screen?
Are you about to make someone us cry of seeing this, how low this probably is selling price?
Well, because we're trying to figure this out.
Oh, yeah.
So wow. I'm gonna bring this to you, Lane. Here is just from March 12th. 36 bids from a pretty good seller. 54.
So people wanted this still.
They wanted it, but they only wanted to pay the most that they would do. They're like, forget it. I'm not paying more than $380, $147. Is this part of the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing, or really nothing to do with it?
That's brand new too. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this is. It's not like this is. I think a figure even necessarily that's been on sale, or maybe recently. One of their things that are on the sale things that Sideshow's been doing. Maybe this week it will be at some point. But I mean, because this can relate a little bit. I was going to ask the panel. I had a question from what you guys were talking about is, for just them reducing, the amount of figures and everything. Could they possibly, because a lot of what has been sitting for like Star Wars for, going on a year or more, like that, all those troopers, the transport trooper, the, what do you call it? Why am I suddenly forgetting? The
tanker,
the not the tank commander, but you had the multiple shore troopers,
right.
But a lot of Mando line figures, the Sand people, the Tusken Raider. Do you think that could perhaps this guy more recent, but it's not like we figured this might sell out, when it was first announced, just because we didn't think they were going to make a whole lot of them, necessarily, just because it's a bigger, more expensive item. That could, we're used to being like overrun with Mando figures, maybe from season 3. I'm not saying they're going to make like 2 or 3 from the show, but we might see a greater reduction in total figures, for the 3rd season line, just because Mando has been one of the lines that's had a lot of figures sit for some multiple years now. So, and guys in chat, I'm not saying they're going to make like only 3 or 4 figures from it, but I'm saying where they did like 12 or 13 or more from a season, maybe it'll be like
a little more
8 or 9 or something. Yeah, it'll be like maybe 8 figures or 9 figures, or maybe a secondary Mando. We would have thought they might have just put out like, second artillery Mando or something like that. That figure that's a colored thing might get shoved off to the side, and they may just do a main character that's similar looking or whatever. But look at this. I mean
this is not Mando. This is Clone Wars.
Yeah, this and
this is with the stat. So
Yeah, and I paid full price for this, so this of course makes me super happy.
Sorry, man. The same thing
But I
happened
didn't
with
pay
me with
shipping on
Bo Man the Throne.
Yeah, I know, but I paid full price for that and Sideshow shipping.
Hey,
So
look,
they
I'm right
give
along
you a
with you,
better
brother.
deal.
I'm right along with you.
But the thing is, though, if you guys, as we always say, if you really want something, don't feel you should never. When you see these things, you should never feel bad about something you I can understand where it can be frustrating when you see something like this because you're just like, but that's in that moment you see it. It's kind of frustrating. You're not going to just throw,
But Lane, this is good, and you made the perfect segue because Lane, you have to wonder if you are the wizard because you kind of just came up with it. Brent, I'm going to shift back to you because I'm going to bring up something that is the complete coffee spilling opposite for a new figure. Because when you look at those and you look at this, and it still has over a day, isn't this kind of what you would hope to see with a new figure? I mean, it's night and day, isn't it? I mean, it's like yin and yang, brother.
No, this is crazy. I mean, like you said, there's still a day and 12 hours to go, so the bidding could continue to go up on that, and I fully expect it to. But man, oh man, if that thing sells for under $400, that'll rock the world, don't you think? I mean, that'll send shockwaves through it all. I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Well,
it makes sense because I mean, the heat on this figure, I hate to say it, but don't you guys think the heat on this figure has subsided a little bit? Because it was hot this summer. I mean, look, I hate to say it, but I resold this figure and I made a good coin on it back in, what was that, September? I think
a lot of people were capitalizing on it, right?
Yeah. I sold it for like I think it was like 600, maybe a little, honestly, it was a little under 600. But, and that was a, good price back then. I think they hit all this, has simmered down a little bit. So, yeah, I can easily see it selling for about $450 because then people, especially when buying stuff on eBay now, because buyers right now, they're smart, and and I mean, because I do a lot of selling on eBay, and I see it. Like a lot of people, they get it that paying for the taxes, paying for the shipping, they want to, they want to get it for a good price. So people that are selling it and want to make a little bit off of it, you're not going to be selling it for $500, $600 anymore, because for the person that's buying it, that's really about $700 when you account for shipping and taxes and everything. So to make it, tempting for that buyer, you got to give them somewhat of, people come to eBay for a deal. So I can definitely see this easily selling for about $400.
I just wonder why some of these buyers don't just go get on the wait list that's been open for 7 months and just roll the dice.
Hey, I bought it. I bought it.
Instead of paying $450 for the damn thing. How about that?
I'm just glad to hear that Brother Cousins was the smart one, where he said, I decided to sell it. I bought it and gave it away on a channel giveaway.
So maybe put up some of the comments.
Of course, that's why I bought it. That's why I bought it, though. I had no idea it was going to be like. I kind of had already mailed it out, and when I saw it going for like $400, I was like.
So Don Gambino says, Aries, I have to tell you that I love your channel. Thank you so much, dear brother, and you do a great job educating new people like me. Thank you. Well, I try to just give you a marketing perspective on what is going on. I do appreciate that. And Hoff's Hometown Hero actually says the problem is how many people say they are buying versus how many are actually buying. How many people actually need to cancel some of these pre-orders they put down because things are a little bit tough. That could be something that's going on as well. We've got the Hot Toys hotline in here. Good to have Connor in here, another great channel who just got to 1K. So congratulations to you there, my friends, as well. And says serving up all the Star Wars. Oh, I got to do it like this. Serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk.
There we go.
what's going on there? Good to have the Hot Toys hotline in here as well. And continuing to go look at some of these other comments in here. I'd like to boast about Thule says, and good to have Thule in here, another Cantina Insider. I'd like to boast about my $167 Arena Fett that's shipped. Wow.
Hey, Aries,
$167.
Aries, are we allowed to go play the visiting team here and go boo?
Boo. I want to, and here's the thing, because, and Jay, I want to go to you with this. I've been talking about this, and I got a new Insiders video that's already recorded. I'm going to be putting it up. I teased it yesterday, called the Arena Fett Effect. And this came out, and I'll be honest with you, and I think all of us knew here. While this figure was like really exciting for a lot of collectors, there were like a lot of collectors that were like, it looks really good, but I'm not getting it. I've got enough Boba Fetts. I've already got this Boba Fett, that Boba Fett, and that. So it really appealed to a certain fan base very, very heavily. But let's be honest, Jay, it didn't break the internet like the Clone Wars Ahsoka, or Captain Rex, or even the Ahsoka from the Mando. So, you have to wonder with this effect. They put out a decent amount, 3,000. Supposedly that's what it is that they reported. And then you see this going on. But a lot of the other people that didn't jump on this, that were saying, hey, they really don't need another Fett. Maybe some of them are like, oh, it's expensive, or they're, they want it, or they're looking at to get into it now. But how much, when you look at how many people, so just kind of stick with me here, Jay, as I pull this back up, because more people want this, because this isn't a variation. This is the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka that did break the internet, not the Arena Fett, which is kind of like, it's a comic book one. It's cool. Some people want it, some people don't. So when you kind of put that math in, and this is gone, is it possible? I know you were saying 5 years it could be a Grail, but let me bring you two perspectives here. The chrome-plated Clone Trooper is not doing what the Arena Fett did, but it is selling for $20 to $40 over retail. So nowhere near a Grail, but you could actually sell it and probably get almost your retail money back. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there an Arena Fett effect going on with Hot Toys and Sideshow, where some of these figures like Ahsoka, maybe even let's talk about Jay, let's open it up. Reva, let's open it up. Valkyrie, let's open it up. Electro. Could some of these be where the chrome plated Chrome Trooper is, or even some of them, if they're a popular character like this, actually go up like $350 right off the bat? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean, I think that's something we will have to really wait and see. Where the demand is. It's a couple of things we have to take into account. For that, we have to take into account for the popularity of the figure, how many were actually produced, how many that they physically ordered. We have to look at that. And then it's the whole thing of supply and demand, because I think what Arena Boba Fett was, it came at a weird time, and it was kind of an anomaly, and it was something that was missing from the whole Hot Toys game that they brought back, and that was making it exclusive. It was something that people want. It was hype. It was all hype. It was like what we see in the sneaker community. People wanted it because it was overly hyped. I think it was an overly hyped figure. It had just enough background behind it, with it being an appearance in the comics, to give it a little bit of cred. It gave it that. I think the comic background gave it street cred, because when a lot of people that weren't into the comics saw it, I was like, a black Boba Fett, okay, cool, but I mean, come on, let's get out with some more figures. And then it was people that was like, no, and my brother right here, he was one. He was like, no, that is the Arena Boba Fett from the comics. That's gonna be a hot one. And a lot of people felt that, and even I was like, oh, okay, cool, but cool. And I bought into it. I bought it, and then I looked at it, and I was like, wow, I really enjoy my Empire Strikes Back way better. I love the colors. This is just black. Okay, he comes with a spear. Okay, he's cool looking, but I really don't need this in my collection, but the thing is, they got me because of the hype, because of it was exclusive. It was the thing to have. And I think a lot of collectors like that. A lot of collectors miss that. A lot of these figures have just been widely available over the past few years. And I think I still say people like exclusive. They like having that thing that's like, it makes it a little sweeter. It does. I mean, buy these things.
It does, because it's like it makes you feel, Jay, that you're getting something that's extra collectible, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, staying with you, we're going to go the rest of the panel, obviously, but doesn't this happening right now, I'm calling it an arena Fett effect, isn't it making this Ahsoka, this book of Boba Fett, the Valkyrie, the Electro, the soon-to-be Loki, isn't it making them a little extra special, even though they're not exclusive in a way? Because it's like, wow, you can't get it anymore after this time. What do you think?
Oh, that was to me? I'm sorry.
That was to you, brother.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it does. I mean, but like I said, once again, we got to see where they go with this. I'm not sold on that yet. I really want to see what happens when these figures actually come out. I mean, we're kind of seeing it with the Clone Trooper right now, but
that was not hardly. I mean, that's not that. That's I mean, so they had the Heavy Mando out on pre-order a lot longer,
right?
And that went way higher. When that went on waitlist, and there was a lot more of those,
right,
than the chrome-plated Chrome Troopers, supposedly. But it's still higher than what it is, and higher than a lot of the other troopers that have went on waitlist that are kind of struggling right now. Like if you look at Jay, the Coruscant Guard,
yes,
or the Mustard Trooper, or the Ketchup Trooper, or even the Remnant Trooper, they're kind of like, 120 to, I mean, a Remnant Trooper is a pretty hot one, Jay. I saw one go this weekend for $201.
Ooh.
New.
Wow.
201.
Wow. At one point, they were going way higher than that. And that's the thing. I just,
weird.
Yeah, I just don't know. I really don't know where the market is going to go with a lot of these pieces. It'd be interesting to see once they're released. I don't know. Will they have that Arena Boba Fett effect? Could they maybe that's what it is. They're trying to replicate that onto regular releases, but I'll call them exclusive by making everything exclusive. And I mean, honestly, I do think that's smart, because it's just like I bring it back to sneakers. It's the same thing. If they had a pair of Jordans that was just widely available, a popular pair of Jordans that was widely available for everybody can get them, they're not that much special anymore. People like that like it to be exclusive. But it's just going to be hard, because there's a lot of us, that still don't buy it. They think, hey, you can go and find these figures other places. You can find them in your comic book store. You don't have to, get them exactly just from Sideshow. But I don't know. It really depends on what they do what they do within this year with these releases.
I think another piece of the conversation too, guys, with the Ahsoka Tano from Mando that we haven't discussed is that piece got severely delayed.
Right.
I mean, that piece was supposed to originally come out in spring, summer, kind of June, May to July of last year.
Right.
Last year, and then it got kicked into deep fall, like November, December, and then it got kicked all the way into now. I mean, it's March, April. I mean, it was never supposed to be a 2-year wait for that piece. So I wonder if that plays into it here too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Luke was supposed to come out in the fall too, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, and second brother, I got 2 questions for you. Going to you. Good thoughts there, Jay and Brent. So like when you look at the chrome-plated Chrome Trooper, okay, it was a small amount. It's going, anywhere $20-$40 over retail. Arena suit double. Try to figure out, hey, you see some figures that are still in stock in many places that are suffering. Not all of them, but some of them not moving. But when you look at a character like Luke, if this goes out, or Ahsoka, and it doesn't come back in, at least for the immediate time, where could these go in the secondary market? I mean, I don't think we're going to be seeing, like what I flashed up on the screen, the Mando and the Blurg, or Anakin with the Stap, with a character like Luke or Ahsoka, if these actually stay out for a little bit. What do you think?
Actually, how the way the market is going, especially with the secondary market, I don't see no big jump in price in these. Once I feel that once they're gone, it's dealing with the economy and the, how can I say, the past proliferation of hot toys. So now we're getting to a point where everything is kind of leveling off and everyone is like playing wait and see right now to see how the market turns around. Like you guys was talking, I was just sitting there looking at you, made a mention of Reva, and I was just like, wait a minute, it's like she go Waitlist. I mean, for how many people that turn around and bash the character, I was like, okay, I know this figure is going to be for sale, and it's waitlisted. Along with
it is. Yeah, I'm pulling it up to see if it changed, but here you go. Yeah, so waitlisted.
Yep. It's waitlisted along with the Grand Inquisitor. So I think that this wait and see thing, I think there's limited stock. I don't think they're producing as much as they were before. They were used to producing 5,000 a figure. They probably cut it down to probably like maybe 3,000, maybe 2,700. And then the
5,000 is a small run too.
Say again?
5,000 is a small run.
Yeah. So, who's to say? But for figures that's coming out, like for the Lukes and the ones that people really, really want, how this market is going in the secondary market, and then you got other companies. I'm not going to say their name. That's out there. As soon as they get it, it gets lowballed anyway. When you have that type of stuff going on, you're not going to see that much of a movement on these figures price wise until they probably get down maybe 2 or 3 years down the line.
Yeah, it's really, really good thoughts with that. I mean, I think with a great majority of them, you hit it on the head. I think some of them, it could be like Reva, or it could be like that Boba Fett from the book of Boba Fett, because they make, that actually has the arena suit effect. And then you got to figure like Luke and Ahsoka that have been up there, like we've been talking about for 2 years. And maybe, and I've been saying this on my videos, Brent, maybe the juice has been squeezed on those so long, and people wait for, the final production photos and different things like that to come out. But gosh, it has been up there for months and months and months. I mean, we talk about FOMO, and you gotta order this, but for goodness sake, 2 freaking years. I mean, at this point, is it really FOMO? It's up there for 2 years. You either want the damn thing or you don't want it, right?
No, I mean, it comes out of the gate, and you're it's top of mind. You're all lathered about it. You see the photos on Facebook, on Hot Toys Facebook. You're talking about it with your friends. You guys are talking about it on your shows endlessly about how great the face sculpt is, or the head sculpt, or this or that. And then time goes on, and then the next figures come out, right? The next pre-orders come out, and then, I mean, what was it? 2 weeks ago, wasn't this Ahsoka almost down near the bottom of Sideshow's best?
It was for months.
I mean,
2 years
out of sight, out of mind. And
I think that's the juice. Keep going.
Yeah, the juice. You're right. The juice gets squeezed if you don't hit the hammer right away with it. And the problem is that these shipping times on these figures now is just so ridiculously unpredictable. You know, you're not getting it when you originally say you're going to get it. Nobody expects to even get it when they say you're going to get the figures anymore. So you pre-order the figure and you just forget about it. And then it just tumbles all the way down to the bottom of the bestseller list until you throw Waitlist on it. And then suddenly it's at the top. And the only reason why that Ahsoka and Grogu figure is not still number one is because of Wrecker and Tech last week.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Very true. And I'm trying to find this comment from Beskar Kid. So shout out to Beskar Kid. But he hit it in the head. And I can't find the comment, but he was saying, I'm going to bring this to back to you before I get to you, Lane, to Second Brother, with all the figures that you collect. He said, if you're in Hot Toys or are in this for exclusivity, he said you're in the wrong thing with these toys, and I agree with him.
I agree.
And I've talked about that a lot, but now we're getting kind of, people, Second Brother, let's be frank, they get pissed off if a figure gets reissued. People get upset about hearing about Dark Side Anakin if that comes out again, or if we go ahead and put out a 2.0 of this or that. And you were talking about 2.0s earlier. So do you have how would that, I mean, would some of us get upset if you look at like Green Goblin here, or you look at Valkyrie, or you look at the Ahsoka, this DX20, and when the economy gets better in 12 months and they do an Attack of the Clones Yoda and they just put out another batch, are you upset about that? And what do you think? Should we maybe expect something like that and realize that this is the game, maybe?
Well, everyone probably knows I am not a fan of 2.0s.
That's why I went to you, baby.
Not at all. Because what drove me, little brother pulled me into the Hot Toys game. And one of the allures to the Hot Toys games, like they make these figures, they make amazing head sculpts, the work, the intricacy, all of this off the charts. And it was like, hey, you better get them, because sometimes, hey, once this is sold, that's it. And some of us, I know for me to collecting, I love the chase. I love the chase where I order something, I look at it, I want it, and like, damn. It's like a kid on Christmas Eve. But
damn, I got it, baby. Yep.
That Christmas Eve is extended for like 2 or 3 years now.
Yep.
But it's like, damn, I can't wait to get this. But when you start doing 2.0, and I understand you got new collectors that's coming in, and you have to satisfy those.
Right.
But I think when you start going, and I say this again, when you start going down this 2.0 route, you're going to lose a little bit of your fan base there.
Yeah, it'll tick me off a second, brother. Keep going. But I want to say, like, I got a little bit excited. Like, I'm watching you call little brother Jay holding up his Ahsoka that I pre-ordered, and I'm feeling like, damn, it's on Waitlist. I pre-ordered it. I made it. I had 2 years to do it, and but I feel like it's gonna be like, I got something that's gonna be like worth something immediately. I don't have to wait that long. And then it'd be like, if they just went ahead and put it out again in 12 months, I'm going to be kind of like, damn, that kind of sucks it a little bit, right?
It's like a blown load loss. I'm sorry to say it. It's like a blown load loss.
Oh, man.
Well, I think
listen, hold that thought second, brother, because you can keep going. Now I'm going to fill you up at table 2.
That's breast milk.
There you go. There you go.
But no, I agree with you. It kind of is. It's kind of like, I know what Beskar Kid is saying, Jay. Right. And you were kind of agreeing with that, and so do I. But on the other side of the token, I kind of like, I don't mind the 2.0, like, hey, he's got a scratch now on his cheek. At least the damn figure's different. I'm like, oh, you know what, though? It's not like the 2 Iron Mans they have up, Jay, for a freaking Endgame. For Endgame there. It's the same figure, but one's battled. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as it's not the same damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get the same figure, it's a cop out for me. It's like, come on. I mean, there's a difference. There's the 2.0s, and then there's just the straight up reissues. It's funny. Me and Anthony talked about this one time. I think it was probably about 6 months ago. They were on the side on the Facebook on the Hot Toys Facebook page. They showed Ian McDermott signing the Palpatine on the throne figure. And when I first looked at it, I was like, wait a minute. Are they reissuing it? Oh, hell no. I just paid all this money for it. What the hell? No. They were just showing it just to show that, he signed it or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. I calmed down a little bit. And then I was like, damn. So I guess reissues, I guess I don't like reissues. But
well, Jay, let me ask you this. Do you have Bo-Katan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Is there a little bit now? Be honest, and I know you will be.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit different feeling having Bo-Katan or even the Crow Mando in hand compared to Ahsoka, where shoot, it could be a little bit rare right off the bat? I mean, is it a little bit of a different feeling for you?
A tiny bit, yeah. It's a little bit,
and that's exactly what you're talking about. Then there's a little bit of that, I think, in many of us anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we all do it. Everybody likes to have something. It's just cool. It's like if you have something, it's just like a little extra. I was going to buy it anyway because I like it. That's just what it comes down to. If I don't care if it's worth, I ain't gonna say
those will be worth a whole lot in years to come. But yeah,
exactly. But what I'm saying, even if I bought something now, if I don't like it, I have to like it first. It has to go with my collection. That's the first appeal. But the thing of it is, it feels good to have something like, oh wow, it's worth that. Oh, I mean, even like the Ghostbusters behind me right now. I like the Ghostbusters. I love the fact that I just have it. But the thing of it is, because they are rare, that's a little extra. It's like, ooh, I got something. It just feels good. It does. And I say that, and they can come out with a new set tomorrow, and I'm like, damn. Well, I guess it's not as rare as it once was. But here's the thing: I'm not gonna sell. I'm not gonna be too upset about it because it's something that I want.
Right.
It's just a little extra,
And it's the thing is, if you're going into it for business or you're going into it for your collectability. Like for me, I don't sell anything. So if it came out of the 2.0, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, it wouldn't bother me nothing really financially, but it loses that shine. To me, it loses that shine when that happens. And then you're just sitting up there, it's like, okay, well, I still will collect, but it's not as like boom, like it was there when I first started collecting.
Yeah, I think there's collectors and there's investors, and I think some people can be both. But I think there's a pretty deep divide. You're either one or the other mostly. Some people can get their Hot Toys figures, open up the boxes, put them on the shelf, and just love them and not worry about what the secondary market is doing, and they don't care if it's tripled and quadrupled in value or whatever. And then there's people who get them and they pay attention to that secondary market. And you know what? It feels good when you pay $275 a few years ago for a Dark Side Anakin off Sideshow's website or any of the other platforms where you may have purchased that figure for under $300. And now you're seeing that thing in the $600 to $800 tier range, right, Aries? And it makes you feel like you made a really good investment. And it's going to suck for some people when the 2.0 of that comes out. And we've discussed this in the past because it's coming, right? Of that figure. It's probably not going to be the exact same, but it's going to be pretty much like it. Will that knock the Dark Side Anakin back to about a $400 to $500 figure? And that's going to piss off a lot of people who are totally into that piece just for the investment purpose.
And it's good at
you're right.
late. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I was just saying,
you're
100% right about that. But I think we all have to look at it like this at this point right now. And I think Hot Toys is slowly training us to look at it like that. At some point, even our beloved OT figures, the Farm Boy Lukes, your Han and Chewie 2-pack, at some point they're going to be 2.0 with rolling eyeballs and all that stuff, and we're going to buy it again. And that's just, I think we just
anniversary.
Yep, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We just
4 years from now.
Look at it like that.
Jay, didn't that happen with DX25?
Yeah.
And I have the DX07, and I, like you and Second Brother talking about, and I'm not getting rid of that.
No,
I don't care when they make the 3.0 in 7 years or 8 years. I'm still keeping it.
It has that allure. That's the Bespin Luke, because it has
dude,
that allure.
you know, that's my grill right there. You know, I chased that thing when I first started collecting. I chased it.
Well, that was one of the first Hot Toy Star Wars figures issued. That was the beginning of it, man. Exactly. I mean, how do you let that go? You know,
even if they came out with a DX, if they came out with another a DX 04, Bruce Lee, how many people would not get rid of that first Bruce Lee, though? Even though probably, and that one's actually pretty damn good. I looked at both
pretty damn
the
good
head sculpts on that. Even, I mean, that's still precious. For a lot of people, you could go ahead and take a look at the DX06 Jack Sparrow from Stranger Tides, and maybe they could improve. I think that's one of the best figures that I've ever seen anyone ever make, but that would still be, in my view, precious. Just like, I mean, how many people, Second Brother, look for both of those DXs, some of them, and just like you were saying with the DX07.
Yeah, the DX07 was, Jay, what you think, was about 3-4 years?
Yeah.
I tracked that thing. Actually, I turned 3 or 4 years. I tracked that thing on eBay almost every single day.
Yep.
Until I was up 3 o'clock in the morning and I saw one was up for bid. And then I guess everyone was asleep, and the guy turned around and he private messaged me, and I told him how bad I wanted it, how much I was a Star Wars fan, gave him the story of me buying Darth Vader's costume, the actual studio costume. And he was like, at least I know it's going to a good home, and gave it to me for a good price.
That
would never happen again. But, like with everything else, man, it's all in what you love. It's all in what you love.
Absolutely.
Lane, let's go ahead and go to you. I want to get your thoughts.
Pull me up for Groot.
Well, I'm just showing Groot also.
Groot. I'm the Groot boy.
Groot.
This panel, man. I don't
Groot.
look that cute, unfortunately. I may be slightly cuter than the rest of all of you, but not even I'm that cute.
Yeah. So you want something a little bit more tougher for you. Like Groot's tough, dude. Groot's tough. I mean, tough. I mean, here's something for you. I know you think this is coming out, so here you can take a look at this. But Lane,
I'm about as certain this is coming out as R5 doesn't have a shaky metal spine.
Listen, Lane. When we were talking about Dark Side Etiquette, or Brett was talking about that.
Yeah.
You were able to get a pretty penny for yours, baby, when you paid a couple $100.
You underestimate my power.
You underestimate my price, Lane. You did pretty good on that.
You still underestimate his price. I mean, okay, maybe he's not 900. It's like he's still selling for.
Well, you sold it for 800 something bucks.
Yeah, well, 900 and something dollars. But,
did you really? Wow.
Yeah, with shipping and tax. Ooh. Yeah, but I mean, you guys make it sound like he's going to turn to nothing. I don't think that's going to happen, even at 2.0, because there's still going to be different.
Well, no, he'll still be around, but like you were saying, Brett, like $400. I think that's where you would go, 400 or 500.
Yeah, but I mean, that's still
or maybe more, maybe more.
Yeah, but he would still be almost twice as much as he originally cost to buy when he came out. That's still a good pricing to get extra.
You know what's interesting? That DX 07 Luke Skywalker,
that has tumbled a little bit though.
It's tumbled a little bit, but it's still going between.
But it's still different.
That on pre-order.
Yeah, but that's still different than the Bespin Luke. Now it is reusing like the head sculpt. Obviously, the head sculpt you would hope would be better after a number of years and stuff, but also different bases. It's also doesn't have two Lukes with it either. It still has the Luke head, so that's maybe the one thing you can knock the more modern one for. But in the the traditions of no, there's no chance of it coming around the corner. That would be this thing.
I thought you were gonna. Is this a 6 scale Raw? That's not the one you want. You got to be like, no chance in hell. Come on.
I'm not Vince McMahon, but you see, for all now, I can, but I understand with direct.
No, man, you're more like the Miz, dude. Come on.
Yeah, my Miz.
I hate this city. Anyway,
so I'm busy eating everybody's finisher and getting left splattered on the outside of the ring. Yep. Okay, great.
All right, so Lane, listen, I already know what you think about this. So, Lane, is this coming out? And you say,
and I say, no.
Okay, but real quick, I need to respond a little bit what you guys were talking about with. I understand the not reissues and stuff, and when you talk about with part of the chase for it, which I understand. I mean, I bought J&D statues, which that's a lot of part of the chase and just the quality of it. Or just statues, or if you're hunting comics, whether graded or you're trying to, you're a huge fan, like all that stuff. There's a certain amount to the chase. Unfortunately for Hot Toys, the chase sometimes can go on so long that you kind of forget. Sometimes you might add something on pre-order because it goes for a long time. But there's one thing I just want to point out when we were talking about going back to one of those figures you were showing on eBay a little bit earlier. Hold on 1 second here.
Where did Lane go?
I want you to look at this.
Oh,
that's where I had to go way earlier. So all we talk about value and such,
the
for
stack
these figures and stuff. I want everybody
that just sold for $260. No,
yeah, exactly. But you know
Rub
what?
it in. Rub it in.
But you know what? When I'm looking at that right now, look at that.
That's awesome, dude. That's going to be such a high damn price figure in the years to come.
Yeah,
it's going to be right up there with the other Anakins, dude.
But my point with this, look at that step. Look at the detail. Look at the painting. You know what? Yeah. So it's selling for $260 right now. But you know what? At the end of the day, I look at this. Look at that detail. Look at that facial sculpt. I know my camera's not the best for this. It's got a lot of stuff here, but when you look at that now, like, is this the preeminent look to Anakin? No, that's like Revenge of the Sith, or even I guess maybe Attack of the Clones, like the Attack of the Clones figure that you can still pre-order from, get from guys like Ray Hawkworth's Toys, who has many Hot Toys.
It looks good, baby.
Yeah. When I see at the end of the day, I don't want to see this being sold for $200. I mean, that's never going to make.
Well, in all fairness, guys, it won't be like Jay. Do you see this? I actually think that this Anakin and Staff's going to be. Yeah. I know you do Good Morning Grails.
A
Grail in the future. Yeah. I really do.
But I just
think so. I think that has strong Grail potential, just because the staff, the way this figure. I don't have this figure myself. Big Bro actually has it, and I went to his house the other night and saw it, and I was like, "Damn, I gotta get this because it's so damn good. It's a great figure." Yeah. So I really
think we haven't. And you think they would put out another staff like that? They've showed the droid one. From Geonosis.
And here's the thing, Lane, and I appreciate you showing that is the thing that I've been telling people. People ask me all the time, Brent, is this a good time, to buy figures that are in stock? They're on the online sites and they have special discounts. I say yes, because I don't think that there's ever going to be another time, unless there's another economic crash in the future, which none of us want to happen. There's a lot of good deals right now. There's a lot of good deals. So I think buy them right now, especially if you have the money and you want it and you think you can afford it, to go get it, because I think they'll be worth more in the future. Don't do it for that. But if you have an opportunity right now, it's a cheap price.
No, I think you're right. I think if you've got the money, and I think another thing you need to have is the time to constantly go to, Sideshow's bestseller list and refresh it and see what kind of deals they may be offering there, or absolutely go scour eBay or another auction site if you so choose to want to do it, and see if there's any deals there, and get into an auction and see if you can bid and win something for cheap. I mean, right now everybody's looking for that, and I think I think more of those opportunities are available right now in this time of weirdness than they've ever been. So if there's any any figures out there that you really want to get. We've just proven with evidence. You've shown us tonight, Aries, that they're out there. You just have to have the ability to and the desire to want to kind of be a little bit stealthy about it and go after it.
Well, here's how we're going to end the show, guys. I'm going to go to paddle up close, and you guys are either going to say, and I say yes, or I say no. We're going to go to Lael first as we end paddle up close and one Starfighter. And you say?
I say no chance in hell.
And I say no.
We're going to go to brother cousins. Paddle up close, brother. And you say what?
And I say yes, it's going to happen. Come on, it's got to happen. They did 2 sizzle reels for this thing. They got to come with it. They know there's other companies out there that's doing vehicles and people are buying them. Hot Toys wants a little bit of that money. So this going to come out. It's going to come out. It's not going to be as expensive as we all think. I still think it's going to be around 1,000 to 1,000, maybe 800 to 1,000. I'll say that. But it's happening. It's happening. But I will say this. If we don't get it at the end of this season of Mando, I'm going to start having doubts. I'll say that.
Ooh. No. Good stuff, brother cousins in the house. Make sure you subscribe to Brother Cousins Toy Reviews. Link in the video description below. And yeah,
rub it in, man. Rub it in. Some of us have been waiting 2 years for that. Okay.
Where's it going to go in the market? We don't know. I don't know. It's been out there for 2 years. I agree with Second Brother on that. I think it's just kind of going to be where it is. Second Brother. And up close on this one, we got 1-1. Lane says no. Jay says yes. And pulling you up here, my friend, paddle up close. And you say what?
And I say yes. Ooh. As my boy Ric Flair would say, all of us here spend more money on spilled liquor than that M1 coming out. It's coming.
Whoa.
It is coming.
Yeah. Come on.
And Lord knows, Ric Flair is apparently very, very familiar with a lot of liquor, man.
And listen. Second Brother, while you're on, you have to wonder, is this what they call
him the Wizard.
Also, since Jay wants to tease the figure, look, little brother, guess who's going to be meeting her in a couple of weeks?
There you go. And listen, Second Brother, you guys should make sure you subscribe to Second Brother here as well. Make sure you go ahead and do that. Link within the video description below. Second Brother, when are you going to do your live show? When are you going to get going with
and
that?
I wanted to do it right, and I was waiting for a copycat that was out there to blow their load, and I think they pretty much blew their load. And there's going to be another part of it, areas that me and you going to have a discussion about at a later time. That's going to be a surprise for folks. But it's coming.
Come on.
It's coming.
Oh, I'm excited.
I just want to know, I'm just going to have a little discussion. Are you ready? That's what it is. You're going to enjoy it.
Come on, baby. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm really excited now. Gosh, you're making me do this, man. Make sure you subscribe.
You're gonna love it.
Subscribe to the Second Brother. Oh, I am sure. So listen, Brent, there's only one way that you can save Lane here. Lane, who's saying no to the N1. So up close. N1 for you, Brent.
Before I say anything, I believe the newsman has breaking news. I just checked the website here, and special edition Obi-Wan Kenobi from Obi-Wan is waitlisted.
Wow! No, you're kidding.
It just went. I just refreshed the page, and for some reason, the Obi-Wan figure is all the way down at the bottom. So I clicked into it, and I went to special edition, and it says join waitlist. So there you go. Breaking news. How about that?
Well, I'm going to be pulling that up, but you got to tell us first, baby.
Your
story here.
I say yes, and it's going to be limited to 750 pieces worldwide.
So what?
Wow. Yeah.
Extremely short printed.
750 pieces worldwide.
750 to 1,000. I think it's just going to be really small. Really small. Because it's so big.
That makes sense.
Wow.
It will fly. Literally.
And you want to create demand and sell those things. That is how you do it.
Well, here you go. And then I will go ahead and play this because at the end of the day, is the N1 Starfighter coming?
And I say yes.
See, I just like you say I'm needing help, and I'm just like, you mean standing on the most stable ground of anybody on this panel? Yeah, no, I'm okay there, Aries man. I don't need any help. I'm good.
Lane, you and Mario El Professoro just may prove us wrong. Lane, always good having you in here, my friend. Stay tuned for some time in the future, maybe a different dimension, maybe on Earth 2, Earth 30, Lane Kramer's channel. It's got to be coming soon.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
Probably somewhere on another Earth. I probably have as many subscribers as Ninja, like on Twitch.
Listen, make sure you guys subscribe to everybody in here who's actually got a channel. Second Brother, and Brother Cousins Toy Reviews. Links in the video description below. This has been a great show, guys. A whole lot of fun, a whole lot of things happening. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. But I think this is it. Mandalorian Episode 3 coming out on Wednesday. I can't wait.
Dude, are you more hyped than anything after that last episode?
I am so damn hyped.
How many times have you guys watched that episode? I know.
Just once.
Oh, shit. I've been on the 8 times.
I don't rewatch it.
I watched it for the third time with my family on it was Saturday night, both of them, and it just they're doing such a damn good job. And I'm telling you guys, look forward. What's going on? Six Scale Cantina. Missed Drunk on Coffee last week. Ain't gonna miss it at hell this week. Are we going to get an Ahsoka from the Mandalorian Season 3? Are we going to get a Luke from the Mando Season 3? Are we going to get a Boba from the Mando Season 3? Are we going to get a Frog Lady, another Cobb Vanth? Are we going to get a Grief Karga? And listen, baby, it's all going to be happening.
And I say yes.
That Grief Karga's got to come, though, with those
coffee.
little droids.
Yeah, I agree.
They got to come with those little droids to get attached.
Are we going to get a Paley?
I want a Paley. If we get a Paley, we definitely getting an
M1. Oh, yeah, that's a damn good point.
No.
How do you not put that out if you... Oh, yeah.
Are we going to get Space Captain Seaweed Man?
They make you wait all the way to the end of the season on that N1, and they go, aha, we're going to get cremated. I think we're going to get 12 to 15 figures just from the Mandalorian Season 3. Think about that. How many are we going to get from Return of the Jedi when we get 9 Attack of the Clones, so 9 or 10 from Return of the Jedi? How many from Clone Wars?
It's time to start making up that spreadsheet and make some hard choices, man.
Yeah.
They tried to put out that spreadsheet and make some hard choices.
I also think a new Luke Skywalker is coming too. I can't imagine that he only wears the same clothes that he wore in Return of the Jedi 5 years later. I think
they call him the Wizard.
Boba Fettuccine is funny. Paley,
that was for you, Brent.
Sure thing in one.
New clothes.
All right. I don't always buy spotchka out, but when I do, I buy it from Six Scale Cantina.
Good night, boys.
Take
Thursday,
care,
my
everybody.
friends.
Have a good evening.
All right. But this is the last time.